Okay, so let's talk about holsters and sidearms and carrying pistols and all that shit. I don't really know what I'm going to title this yet. I'll title it something catchy to get you guys here. But what this is about basically is holsters and ways I carry guns. Okay. I also have the sword here because it goes with the black powder revolver, and it's on a baldric. And most people, they like to put swords on belts. Swords don't go on belts. You put a baldric on it. It's like that's just a piece of rope with knots in it, but it's just something to throw over your shoulder. You're welcome. That's the only part about swords. So the rest of this, I kind of dig flap holsters. Here's why. Like on this thing, I want a thing that this is going to go in a purse. That's what this does. It's badass to go in a purse, isn't it? Because you pop it out and you have, your gun with a magazine in it, and you have a second magazine. So you can draw out the gun and the mag at the same time, put the mag somewhere else, or you figure that out. But like, it's all together, it's all in, and it protects it, and it keeps makeup and shit out of the gun. This is, in essence, what your wives should have in their fucking purse, but they aren't as badass as their Aunt Ray Ray. This one has to be a flap holster because it's black powder, and it needs to be leather. There's a lot of shit because it's black powder. It has to be this. I have that glued on there. It's a J-Flex Marine Epoxy, so it matches my 1911 because these are kind of a set. Like, those are my, 21st century cavalry guns right there. Got a 1911 black powder revolver and then the sword to go with them. There's like a method to my madness or whatever. This is like, running around town kind of thing. And then, if you need more firepower, that's what this shit's for. That is, of course, the Flex Raider. And this is a Timbuktu laptop bag. And it's dedicated to this thing. And I keep it empty chamber, so you would have to pull it out and rack it, but it's got that big ass fucking thing on it. And I keep it that way because there's no fucking safety on it. Yeah, if they would sell me a crossbolt safety, I would use that, but that safety they had is fucking ridiculous. I'm eventually going to get the thing that just fills in the hole, or I might not even waste that money. I don't know. Eventually, I'm going to order a rail to put a laser on this side. When I do that, I'll probably order the hole filler at the same time. In this laptop bag, it's not really set up to carry at the moment. It's got this is a sling for another rifle. This is a holster for the car, pocket holster. You could use this also, depending on what you're doing. For the car, I'm gonna get the barrel threaded and get this thing put on it. Then this is an extra magazine with a belt thing that's not 100% fucking solid. I don't like the looks of some of these, so I've rolled them in duct tape, and we'll see how that works. I like these that way. These still look like shit. These are 21 round mags with the 5 round extension from Strike Industries. These are 17 round mags with a 10 round extension from Springer Precision. These suck. There's no real good option. I have 8 of these and I have 2 of these because I had 2 17 round mags, and it was the cheapest way to get those to be big mags. These, I bought 8 21 round mags and 8 of these things, and that was way cheaper than doing those. This isn't loaded. This gun is loaded, but like I said, that bag really isn't set up to carry. This mag holder thing puts it horizontal on your belt. It's nice if you're having a belt. If you don't have a belt, you just throw it in your pocket. And then we got the pistol frame for it. And this is the single point sling for it. And I put this fucking gold regimental badge from English Infantry Regiment on there because I thought it was badass. I was doing a bunch of crazy shit, and I found that, and I don't know, it's still on there. That's probably not going to stay. But I seriously considered just giving this whole bag to my girlfriend and saying that I loved you. And she loves English shit, so she would have loved this thing. She would have wanted the brace intact probably though, but to be honest, I'm thinking about getting the stock parts because the NFA doesn't matter anyway. And if that's the case, then, you know, I basically made the 100% correct choice, because if the NFA isn't a thing, then I want a butt cap and I want stock. And then we'll readdress this whole thing. I would still run it the same way, though. I would never use that fucking safety. I would rather have to rack slide. And I think if you're going to make that decision, you have to make that decision and train that way. But, like, if that's what I'm doing. That's pretty much that thing. This 1911, I made the holster for this. It's this thing on the bottom of it is from experience. It's in case you know, get the gun stuck, you can wrap your hand in that and yank on the fucking gun and still get the fucker out. Ask me how I know. There's a lot of that holster in particular. Sorry, I had to do that one-handed. Note that you can do that one-handed. Okay, I made this holster myself. It's kind of a cowboy rig in that it's got this big, nice, wide belt loop that, you know, it's veg tan leather and it rides nice. This is a professional rig. When I showed this to some dudes, they were like, who made the holster? I told them I did. I was like, that's impressive. But what they don't get is I make knife sheaths. Like, I learned things making this, but I could make another one. Like, this is exactly how I make the sheaths for my knives, and I just made one for a gun. And that's what happens when you don't get told what you're doing is wrong. You get cool shit like this fucking, you know, leather belt loop. The gun itself is Sci-Fi Blaster. I put the Meprolite back on it because I want to try it out again. And I lost a fucking screw doing that, so it's not going to stay on there. This thing's going to get new sights eventually. I don't know what it's going to get. This is a hole we pour money into, I guess. Matt gave me this laser thing, which now I feel bad about considering he hates me. The muzzle brake is cool. It just looks cool. It adds weight to the slide. I think it makes the gun better to shoot. 8-round mag. Angry gave me that. World War II grips that Duke would love. Yeah, this gun has a lot of bad memories in it, basically. Anyway, this thing I still think is a bitchin' purse gun. You can get these flap holsters from World War Supply. I think they're like 20 bucks. I did the dye job on it. It came khaki. You know, most of you guys like desert tan shit. You guys would be fine. I like my shit to kind of at least all vibe. I picked tiger stripes because I like tiger stripes. And does it blend in everywhere? No, but I think it blends in better than like blue jeans, which is probably what I'm going to wear on the bottom. I have plans for my pantaloons for combat. We're going to get those next. Hopefully. I have a lot of shit I need to get next, so it might not be pants next. Although pants make sense. Like, combat pants are kind of important. What I'm thinking about getting are roundhouse overalls. Since I pretty much don't use a belt with any of this shit anyway. And I'm going to be kind of vehicular based in cavalry and a lot of other shit. I think overalls can make a lot of sense. And they come in Coyote. And I'm going to make custom camo overalls. I'm probably going to like keep one set Coyote and like camo the fuck out of the other set. Anyway, The black powder revolver, I didn't talk that much about, but like you guys have seen it. The reason we need the flap holster on there is because with the loose black powder and caps, it needs protection from the weather. I like this thing. It's got the fucking sight mod, which, just to be honest, I think these are about the best sights I've ever seen on a black powder revolver. And like my logic behind having the black powder revolver instead of like a Colt single action is we're fighting a civil war, first off. Like, Kossoff gets it. Like, you know, it's not the right gun. You need the right gun. This is the right gun for fucking doing. A little bit of that. A little bit of flat out, I want a woods gun, like for small game hunting. This would work. At least I'm betting I could make that work. This is a rig for shooting at people. This is a human defense rig. However, I'm betting if I shoot it a little bit, I could probably get good enough to hit like a squirrel or a rabbit with it. And like instead of having a 22 revolver, I have this thing. You know, like there's I have this thing instead of a lot of stuff. And like it's heavy. But I'm going to be in a car. That's kind of my thoughts. If I'm not in a car, I'm probably not going to take that. My loadout for not being in a car is probably like this thing on my hip and this bag. And dump the rest of it. And I have an escape vehicle for my van. That is it's a scooter. So you would see me with my laptop bag and my pirate helmet and my like little Nazi flap holster gun. This is for a Walther PP, by the way. You see me riding a scooter down the street in the middle of into the world. I think like right now this is stuffed at the end with like a piece of cloth. I would like to get it threaded so that this is in there, and then this is gonna make so much sense, and it's so perfect. And this like fits in with like the sci-fi blaster shit. Cause like, I mean, look at my guns. Like the most normal one is this one. That's the most normal one. And this thing was the odd man out. But I think the crazy paint job on the grips, you know, that helps. That helps make it blend in. But the thing that's going to make it blend in the most is this shit. I'm thinking about asking them just to weld it to the slide. I don't know. I'm going to go see a gunsmith I know here pretty soon about various things, and this is chief amongst them. Some of the shit's going to make them laugh. Like, really, I think most of these, what you should get is that I'm like a gun comedian. Like, these are not super serious guns, but they do work. This sight sucks. I shouldn't have put it back on. But it is going to force me to get new sights for this thing, which I need to watch this again and take notes on shit that I need to get, because there's shit in this that needs to be taken care of. Like, this is a priority for preps in my mind, because this is a system you could hand to a fucking chick and put in a closet. This is probably going to be on my hip. This is its own thing, but you could technically give that to somebody too. And this thing also is, you hand this to grandma and put her in a fucking corner. Okay, that's kind of the thoughts behind a lot of this shit. And like, other than these, the only other guns I have right now is a 22 takedown rifle and 2 ARs. So this is a little bit of like a gun collection thing. We'll do rifles in another video. If somebody wanted to see a gun collection, you know, I'm modifying all my shit pretty crazy. My rifles, The 22 was already modified pretty crazy, but I like it. Most people agree that that one's cool. The first AR is a Rhodesian semi-retro deer hunting gun kind of a thing. It's its own thing. It's a shit hits the fan carbine is what it is, and it's made to do a job, and it's made to be lightweight, and you know, it does that. It's a PSA upper on a KE arms lower with some glass on it. The other one I'm modifying currently into a Space Marine rifle to go with these two. So like, it was semi-normal looking. It's kind of like this thing. Like, those are my projects for now. Soon I will get a single shot shotgun, and it's going to get a camo job. There's no way it's not going to get a camo job. I have not decided yet exactly what kind of camo job it is going to get. I'm leaning towards like maybe brown and green. I don't know. Well, this has been kind of, you know, as close to a gun collection update as you're going to get today. Tell me what you think about this. Is that going to be cool? I think it definitely will fill out the holster. It's going to hold this thing back in some ways on some things, but like, it's also kind of nice to have a flash hider pistol. Like, and all of my shit has muzzle devices. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, I would love to get this thing threaded for something and put a fucking like bird cage on it. Although at this point it would stick out the end of the holster, so, and like, it's an octagonal barrel. There's a lot of shit going against it, including the fact I've already fucking modded the sight. It would be funny. I guess you could do, you know, get one of these and like bore it the fuck out maybe and just weld it on. That's not a bad idea at all. Hold the phone. This might be brilliance. Could be stupid. Okay. That's a really close match. You wouldn't have to bore that out. You could just weld that on. Well, shit. Guess we're buying another one of them. Isn't that would be fucking tits, though? I know a welder that could do this. Like, just imagine that shit. Yeah, we got to do that. God damn it. I just got done with the holster. Tell me what you think. Kossoff in particular. Anyone else backwoods who's into black powder guns. Like, that's tits, really. That would be amazing welded on there. I don't know if those welds could take the explosion. They'd have to be good. It would make it ugly as shit. If you could do it clean, that'd be one thing. This thing, I'm confident he could do clean, and then I could tidy it up a little bit, and then glue the welds, and then be fine. And like, that is a solution to me on this. I would have to bore it out so that the barrel can go through and all that shit, and like, some of that shit would need to be done. It'd be way easier just to fucking thread it onto the fucking barrel, which the gunsmith I'm going to should be able to do, especially if it doesn't need to be fucking concentric, which I'm gonna tell him it doesn't, because I'm never gonna put a suppressor on this thing. I don't know, maybe I should tell him it needs to be concentric. Damn, now I want to put this thing on this. I want to do that so bad, and that's all I can think about. Like, look, the octagonal flats and shit almost even match. It'd be a good look. Look at that look. That's a sci-fi gun. Like, Jesus Christ, that's a sci-fi gun. Couple other things you could do to mod that thing out. Like, if you took out the cylinder and replaced it with something flat that just filled the hole. I want to make fucking movie prop guns. I'm just gonna send this to the movie prop people. See you guys later.